When I was 10, I moved to the suburbs of Plymouth. Imagine an ocean of 1950s prefabricated box homes stretching about 4 square miles from the city centre all the way to the edge of Dartmoor. Plymouth had been the worst bombed city outside of London, and it was to be rebuilt as a future city with large scale infrastructure and basically triple in size and population. But before the green hills and the farmland were consumed by development, there existed a number of ancient houses that were perhaps thousands of years old. None of them exist today, but all of them are mentioned in the Doomsday Book. And it was likely that these settlements were there long before the 1082 survey. They were all well positioned on a hill with numerous springs and resources. And I kind of like to imagine that at this time, the Vikings, Cornish, and Saxons, all running around bashing each other's heads in, were very much part of this landscape and the settlements that were there. So, growing up in this area, it would be easy to find many of the old walls and paths, ruins that existed before our homes did. In fact, my friend lived right by some of these ruins and found a silver coin in his dad found the silver coin in his garden, and they gave it to me. I still have it today. Further, learning about the area, one day it was a school lesson that the teacher told us that one of these houses used to exist right under our classroom, and it was bombed successfully in World War II. So it's interesting to note that this kind of lesson had a huge effect on me. It had a huge pull on my curiosity, and it sparked a barrage of questions at the teacher that he was not able to answer. And I realized that no one really knew anything about the house over the next 30 years as I would slowly gather pieces of information. I even remember trying to remote view the house when I was younger to see how it looked. It didn't work. I went to the library instead. But that is how much I really wanted to know about it. There was just no information out there, and that was before the internet. Anyway, in the library, I did actually learn something. The first thing I ever learned about the house was it was an important place to make decisions. No, it was a place to make important decisions during the war, and this came with a few photos. I had never seen anything of the house, but basically the photos show the local Royal Engineers, the people that would defuse the bombs that failed to go off in Plymouth, storing them at the house. Now, it didn't really show any pictures of the house. It just showed pictures of a couple windows and a garden, but it was better than nothing. So I had started to learn about the house, that the family were evicted. This happened all across the country. Out of national interest, the government took many homes and land to support the war effort. So moving forward another 10 years, the internet at this time started to be very full of content, full of archives everywhere, really. I managed to find some names of the last family before they were evicted by the MOD. And we have a Colonel George Swiney bought the house around 1890 with his wife Agnes Swiney. So after some relentless Facebook stalking, I managed to make contact, and it was super helpful. And only about a week ago, they sent me some pictures of the house, inside the house and the grounds and the family. So after 30 years wandering and failed remote viewing, finally I had some photos that I could put online. So this is just a small story of an area that I sort of sparked my interest in history. And what I've done, I've created a topographical map of a 1910 Ordnance Survey. And I'm just going to show you some of the things I found that might be interesting to all the people that live in this area that want to know what was going on before these suburbs, everything was developed in this area. Okay, so if I zoom out, this is the whole of Pennycross, Western Peveril. And it stretches from the crossroads, right by the cherry tree. Cherry tree is here. And this is the crossroads with the what's it? It's a rectory. Sorry, no, not priory. The thing the vicar lives in. I forget his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Is it gonna work? Okay, you're dropping down. Okay, so we're running down. Oh my god, I used to live here, but I can't remember any of the names of the roads. I think I probably never did, to be honest. Okay, anyway, so running down towards Box Hill, or Spring Hill, we're going to come across one of the graveyards on the right. And today, if you notice this notch of the wall that sticks out, is actually Drake's Leat. Drake's Leat was the first leat of the area, built to supply Plymouth with water. Pretty much all gone now, apart from this one part in this churchyard. And then further down, you have, of course, St. Pancras Church. It was a large complex of schools, a farm, and a church. The church is here. It does date to the 15th century, but they think the foundations are much earlier. So perhaps the chapel was built around the same time for the Saxon sort of survey. And then further just down the Box Hill, you have Devonport Leat, which there is, of course, no signs of today in this area. It's all been built over. Okay, so down the hill, and we're going to arrive at the bottom, where now the road would continue straight, but it used to go around the edge. There's a photo here. So you can just see that photo go straight on, but it used to go all the way around there. Okay, that's the entrance to Hamwoods. There used to be a lodge house for the manor house up on the hill, Burrington House. And that is a photo I got from the box. They sent me this photo. Yeah. Okay, so if you follow the road around, you arrive at the YMCA. Okay, and before the YMCA, we have Box Hill House. And this actually turned out to be the birthplace of John Chard, Sergeant John Chard, who was in command of the defense of Rorke's Drift. Here's a picture of him being played in the movie Zulu. I can't remember the actor's name, but I imagine you've seen it. Good movie. Okay, so out of Box Hill House, up the hill. Let's slow down a bit. There we go. Okay, so there's the entrance to the school today. This was my school growing up. It was pretty rough at the time. I think it's actually turned itself around. It's a very posh school now. It has great reputation. Okay, continue up the hill. Speed up a bit. So when you come up this hill, you'll notice that this wall here still exists. And this is part of one of the orchards. Burrington had many orchards. It is noted in... Oh my God, I can't remember the book now. There was... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So the entrance to the Burrington House here. The entrance to the school, main entrance to the school that I used to take. Today, I'm going to zoom out a bit. You're going to find a giant highway. Whoa, that was a bit big. But basically, the highway slices this area into like this. And there's just a huge bridge that crosses the expanse to get to the other side of the road. Okay, so following down the road to Burrington, I managed to map it all out. And now we know what it looks like. Because... Oh, well, first of all, these are the first photos I found from the bomb squad. Look at the size of some of these bombs, though. Look at this thing. It's a 1,000-pound bomb, maybe. Anyway, this was their base of operations, among other things, I imagine. And there was this photo, which actually someone sent me a while back. I was very happy to get this, but it wasn't at the time. It's such bad quality. I couldn't really understand what I was looking at. But now it makes sense, because these are the photos that the kind people, the family, the descendants, sent me from South Africa. And here we have George, Agnes, Muriel and Evelyn. I don't know who this chap is, probably the caretaker pushing them down the hill. And there is the house, finally. I got it. Very typical Georgian looking. I imagine it was remodeled many times throughout its history. But this is the edge of the hill on the school, where you go down to the sports field. Okay, and we have another one here on the edge of the house, all having tea, all looking very posh. It says 1898 there. Okay, so then we go. We have a room inside the house. It says a corner of the, I don't know what it says, 1898. Okay. And then there is another one. What's going on here? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps I didn't put it in. I have one of the hallway, but maybe it's underneath. Nope. I don't know what to do with it. Okay. So, today, if you go down through Ham Woods, you'll find the corner of this walled garden. There were pictures circulating of, where did I accidentally deleted the photos. Let's just try. No, Alright, I do have a picture of the walled garden. Yeah. I'll put them in the on the Facebook. Okay, so going across the road, we have the two farms that serve the manor house. There's lots of pictures of the farms. Here is, so this is the farm. Actually, we played in the ruins of this farm. We made a lot of dens. This is the old laneway that went down this way, but now the highway kind of sliced it into. And this is my friend's house, was roughly around where these trees are, and that's where the silver coin was found. Where is that coin? I have it. Lost it again. There it is. Also, we have these photos of, where do they go? God, I'm so bad at this. Oh, they're all way up here. Okay, sorry, this is the miniature family tree. So, at the top, we got a photo of George. No photo of Agnes. Unfortunately, we have a photo of their grave, which is at the church, St. Pancras. They're buried there. And then we have their two daughters, Muriel, no photo. Evelyn, we have some of her paintings. She traveled around all the way around the world, painted everything from Morocco to Paris. Yep. And then we have her Muriel's three kids. James, we do not have a photo. We do not have a photo of Elizabeth. But we do have a photo of Roderick, and this was a photo circulating. I've seen it before online, and they sent a press. They sent the press to interview and photograph Roderick, because he wasn't going to have a military career, and he was going to become a chef. And here he is training to be a chef. He doesn't look too happy about it, but it made the papers because his grandfather was such a prominent colonel or important military person that his deviation sort of was enough to create this small article. I don't know what happened to Roderick. I do know that he passed away in Brighton at a young age, but I don't know if he remained a chef, is what I meant to say. But yeah, this is a good photo. Oh yeah, and then we have this, a small snippet of him being arrested or going to jail for driving while being disqualified. So a bit of a rebel, Roderick there. Oh, and then obviously James's family now living all in South Africa. A huge thank you to them. One other thing I found was a bomb map, and just to show just to show you the lengths that they went to destroy this area, this house perhaps, what I did is I mapped them out exactly. So the grey ones are high explosive, the red one is a parachute, but they all, actually if I just grab them, they all are on the exact location they hit. Let's put that on. And then just get rid of that. I don't know what that is. Okay, bring them down. And you got a rough idea of where they impacted. So the bomb map actually doesn't show it hitting the house. So I don't know. Perhaps it caught fire. Because there is another picture, aerial photo of just the ruins from above. And all the walls are intact. So perhaps it was just... also the church got hit, but then there wasn't a bomb. Perhaps a separate... right, here it is, here. So it kind of gives you a rough idea. I guess there would have been a spy network in Plymouth. Couldn't find much about it, but I know there's quite a few arrests across the country of people that were leaking information to Germany. And I guess Plymouth, being a naval target, would have had some kind of spy network. Else, why would they know to hit this house, right? Okay, so moving down into the valley, all the way to Ham House. Ham House survives today. It was built in the 16th century by the Plymouth mayor. It was the site of some negotiations in the Civil War for Plymouth. Plymouth refused to surrender, quite rightly so. But Ham House survives today. It's nice. And then all the way to Weston Mill. This is probably where the Vikings came up, as they were known to come up the Tamar. And Drake's Hill, there may have been a beacon here, a Napoleonic beacon, perhaps even a Roman beacon. There is a Roman beacon site just slightly north of here. So yeah, finally, basically, what could be done next? It'd be great if the school could put in a test trench somewhere. I believe there is a car park right here. If there was a way of putting in a test trench and seeing if they could find some pottery they could date that would predate the Doomsday Book, would be amazing. But well, I'll just send them all the photos anyway. Then they have it for any educational, archives they want for the school. So yeah, that's it.